Imagine how amazing it would feel to set up a series of positive events in your life. They would all happen in a kind of chain reaction. And brought together, you get the success or the outcome that you really want. Well, it is possible. It's all because of the domino effect. The domino effect happens when one event sets off a chain of knock-on events. It's a handy symbol of how a chain of events happens. You can picture how it works, actually, if you line up real dominoes. Each domino individually represents a small amount of potential energy. The more you line up, the more potential energy you build. Line up enough dominoes, and with a simple flick, you start a surprisingly powerful chain reaction just by setting the first domino in motion. The good news is that just like real dominoes, you have the power to spark a chain reaction of good habits or events yourself. Each one builds energy and momentum to move you closer to success. In a moment, I'll explain the 3 key things that you can do to spark this in your life. But first, let's just think about the power of the domino effect. Back in 2009, a man called Stephen Morris set up an experiment with 13 dominoes. The smallest at the front was just 5 millimeters high and 1 millimeter thick. It was so tiny, he had to set it up with a pair of tweezers. The next domino was 1.5 times the size, wider, thicker, and longer. Each domino that followed was 1.5 times thicker, longer, and wider than the one before. And that meant that the last domino was about 1 meter tall and weighed about 50 kilos. Morris flicked the first tiny domino. Within seconds, a chain reaction caused the largest domino at the back, you know, the one that weighed 50 kilos, to fall with a bang. That was how this experiment worked with 13 dominoes. But what if he'd kept going and lined up 29 dominoes that followed the same pattern? The last domino would have been as tall as the Empire State Building. Imagine a domino that size falling when it all began with the flick of the first tiny one. So what does this experiment teach us? It shows us that just like the dominoes, energy amplifies by about 2 billion times. But how do you apply this thinking to your life and your goals? Well, imagine if you could connect each of your tasks to the next bigger task. Imagine the knock-on effect you could create. Extraordinary results come from the domino effect in your life. Okay, toppling dominoes is straightforward. You line them up and tip over the first one. But in the real world, of course, it's a bit more complicated. So here are 3 things that you can do to get extraordinary results from the domino effect in your life. First, identify one thing you want to achieve. Shoot for the moon, because the moon is reachable if you put all your energy into accomplishing that single most important thing. Second, start with a small task or a small habit that will help you reach your goal, and do it consistently. This will open your eyes to the type of person that you can become. Keep your momentum by immediately moving on to the next task you're motivated to get done. Let the momentum of one success carry you into the next task or habit straight away. With each repetition, you become more committed to your new self-image. And then thirdly, break down each of your tasks into smaller chunks. As you try to build new habits, focus on keeping tasks small and manageable. The domino effect is as much about progress as it is about results. One small success leading to a slightly bigger success maintains the momentum. It's simple, just like the dominoes. Of course, life isn't as smooth as the domino experiment. Highly successful people know this, so every day they think about their priorities to make sure they're on track. Just like finding today's lead domino and flicking until it falls. So why does this approach work? Well, it works because extraordinary success usually happens in sequence, not all at once. Success is a process. You can apply this to the big things in life, like your work. You can also apply it to the small moments in your day when you're deciding what to do next. Success builds on success. The momentum and the energy keeps you going, so you move eventually towards the highest success possible. Think about it. Someone who is very knowledgeable built that experience and expertise over time. Someone who is highly skilled built those skills over time. Someone who's earned a lot of money has usually earned it over time, not all at once. And that's the key. Remember that success is built over time. Whether you want to apply the domino effect to your health, your wealth, your relationships, or your career, it will help if you can connect today's task to your future goals. And if you can do that, you'll soon see how every great change begins with one falling domino. Please do subscribe to my YouTube channel below, and I'm going to alert you to new videos, details of the live events that you can join me at and attend, and all sorts of other updates. But of course, you can always take a look at my website for more information.